Welcome to the 5G podcast.
We're glad you're here.
We hope you enjoy our conversation about God, guns, games, goals, and gastronomy.
Now sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's episode. I'm ready.
Alrighty. Oh, we needed to go over the agenda first, unless you just wanted to reball it.
Just rapid fire. I was looking over it. I'm somewhat ready. So
all right.
Plus, if we don't agenda, we don't agenda.
That's true.
I have no agenda.
I always have an agenda.
No political agendas here, sir.
No politics.
That's right. Not a political podcast.
Unless we become one.
You never know. These days, this is not on our agenda, but semi-political. Rumble, right?
Yeah.
Trying to be alternative to YouTube. They just announced this week they're doing like Rumble TV, basically. I think on the weekdays only, they're going to have like 9 to 4 is going to be different shows, and it'll just like automatically cycle through. Like on the homepage of Rumble, you can just like click and it's just like...
And it's just TV.
Yeah, but it's like different content creators are doing like an hour each.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
They've all partnered up, right? So instead of like at the old folks home, you just have CNN on a loop. You can just... Eventually they want to do all day, but you can just have Rumble on a loop.
I'm surprised. So is it like, are these guys streaming?
Yeah. So they're streaming their like normal shows anyway, but then they're just like
co-opting the stream.
Yeah, coordinated.
So
with
like,
Rumble.
is it like streamers or is it like YouTube?
It's mostly conservative people who are on Rumble anyway,
and they were doing the Rumble live streams. Gotcha.
So like Dan Bongino had his last show this week before he goes to join the government.
Yeah.
But he was helping because he was working with the Rumble team a lot.
I think he owns Rumble.
He was a big part of it. I don't think he owns it.
I thought he was like one of the founding members or some crap like that.
I don't know. I know they kicked him off YouTube, and I know that's where he went. So I didn't know if that's like he had to make that up. But I know he helped to set this up. So it's a lot of folks who are similar-ish, right, to Dan Bongino.
Dude, this is crazy. There's no way that this is correct.
There's like a lot of people who made Rumble, or
the AI overview on Google.
Oh yeah.
Which I don't know if I trust it yet.
Yeah,
it says it's a Canadian company based in Toronto.
Okay.
With Chris Pavlovsky.
That sounds right, actually.
I don't know who that is, but sure. He's the founder and CEO.
Mm-hmm.
Alternative for YouTube. Investors. Rumble received investment from venture capitalists Peter Thiel, Vivek Ramaswamy, and J.D. Vance in May 2021.
No way.
With that round of funding valuing Rumble at $500 million.
Huh. I don't know about that bit, but...
Rumble announced a $775 million strategic investment from Tether in December 2024. Really? Why is Tether making investments? You know what Tether is?
Aren't they a cryptocurrency?
It's a cryptocurrency that's tied... I believe it's tethered to the value of the US dollar.
Oh, okay.
But it's like... Or something along those lines. Or it was like tethered to the value of the US dollar at one specific moment in time.
Yeah.
So that like it's an anti-inflationary dollar, supposedly.
In theory, like it's a real crypto.
Yeah. It's private, obviously.
Yeah. Otherwise, they'd have to be like YouTube and bow to the whims of the public.
The general public... Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they're doing it. Explain this to me. They're streaming TV shows.
Yeah, it's basically like Rumble TV. So, like I said, right now it's only like from 9 to 4. But if you it'll be on the homepage or on your app or whatever, and it'll just cycle each hour to different streams.
Yeah.
So like, I know Tim Pool's on there, Steven Crowder, and they've all committed to like 1 hour. I think at least every weekday. Until they get like more folks who can commit, and you just like fill time slots, and then it'll just...
I would love there to be a YouTube alternative, or not alternative, but a YouTube competitor.
Yeah.
Just so that YouTube has to be more consumer friendly.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Competition's healthy, and the consumer benefits from it. So
yeah, I've tried using Rumble, and the interface, the UI is just absolutely abysmal.
It is. It's pretty much ass cheeks. By definition.
Not pretty much. It just is.
Yeah.
It just is.
Slightly better than when I first used it a couple years ago. I think maybe they got some more funding or whatever from Tether, but It's still
Yeah, but
like,
you don't need gazillions of dollars to figure out that, wow, this search engine, or wow, the way you subscribe to people, or wow,
Or
just the video player itself.
the phone app is bad. You can tell they were a website first, I think.
It just sucks.
Yeah.
It just sucks. And which is so unfortunate because I would love for it to be a good competitor.
Good competitor, yeah.
Especially like there's a bunch of different fringe or marginal video playing services, right? Like there's
you told me about the
Rumble,
YouTube one, right?
There's Utreon,
Okay.
there's Floatplane, which are both friendly to gun content.
Yeah.
So is Rumble, right?
It's so interesting because before YouTube, we used to have a lot of ones like this, and you don't really hear about other ones anymore.
There's a group of gun YouTubers on YouTube who have created their own app called Pepperbox TV.
Okay, that's the one I was thinking of. Yeah,
and it's really cool. Actually, it's not a web video service. It's more like a Netflix type thing, but for internet content.
You're subscribing to a network already.
Yeah,
yeah.
And they're selective of who gets to put stuff on there, gotcha. Right?
So yeah, it's not a.
And they have like Pepperbox exclusive TV shows, or not TV shows, but like.
Okay, so it's like
a group of all these different content creators will get together and be like, oh, this one content creator is going to cook for us, and it's just like bull crapping in the kitchen.
It's Daily Wire, right?
Yeah, very
conglomeration of creators.
Yeah, and they select who gets to be on and not on the platform.
Yep. Or the Blaze, I guess, is the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, the Blaze. I think the Daily Wire is probably. Well, I don't know what the Blaze is. Anyway.
Yeah.
So like, and then there's like Odyssey, which is like a semi-defunct but still up and running.
Yeah,
they get enough funding to like keep the servers alive.
Yeah, keep the lights on,
but not enough anything else.
No.
Like, I don't know if there's been an update on Odyssey for like decades, but that one is really cool because you can share files.
You told me, yeah, it's pretty popular for that actually.
So if you're a 3D artist designing STL files, your fans can
download your print files easily.
You can have a video. It's like, this is how I designed this little idget.
Yeah.
And then you can have your fans from that website while they're watching the video download the idget
without going through like a third-party paid service, like a Patreon or whatever.
No, exactly.
Yeah, where you have to pay something to them, like, or
just even like a link to like Thingiverse, right?
Yeah.
It's like, this is just directly hosted on this website.
Download it here, boom.
So I think Odyssey is cool. I don't
see it going anywhere.
No, I don't. Yeah, I honestly think that the only one that's going to go anywhere maybe is for the free ones, right? Yeah. Is Rumble maybe?
I see them trying.
I honestly think, this is my personal view, that it's not the next YouTube is not going to be any of the ones that we currently have.
Probably not.
It's going to be one in 5 years that has some sort of better algorithm, like a TikTok-like algorithm, where it really just perfectly shows you what you want. I don't know.
I almost wonder if we're just, maybe not 5 years, but I don't know, 10, 20 years, you just get AI TV or whatever, like slap on your VR goggles and you can just watch whatever you want. I don't know.
I don't think so.
No? Because content creation is still like...
Well, and also like...
a big profession.
Also, one of the main draws, in my opinion, of watching other people is watching their creativity.
Yeah, true.
An AI, at least right now, can't be creative necessarily. It's just copying, right?
That's fair, yeah.
And...
because it's not real.
Even if you prompt it like I think that definitely there will be a space for an AI streaming or AI system where it's an educational system where it's like, I need to learn about the mitochondria in cells, right? Show me a 15-minute video about mitochondria.
Weird, yeah.
And you type that into your little search bar or your little AI chat GPT box.
AI phones coming out with those.
And then it'll take 5 minutes to render out this video that's like reasonably accurate, in terms of like little drawings that squiggle around to show the mitochondria.
Sure.
And take clips from laboratories around the world and splice them together to show you like, here's a mitochondria in real life, and then like a little sketch of like, this is how it's functioning, explaining it to you at the same time. I think there's a space for that.
But actual
new business idea for our bucket of
right, yeah, throw that in there.
But for like for entertainment stuff, I think people are still
the human aspect, the creation. Yeah,
I think maybe we see more of like the VTuber type thing.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But that's still a person behind there.
Yeah, there's still a person, even if you somehow add an AI element to that, there's still a person behind it.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way. Sure. Yeah. I'd like, as we said, to kind of maybe wrap it up in a bow. I think it's cool to see a little bit of competition in the content creation sphere, especially when like, YouTube probably does need a competitor, especially if everything you hear, it's hard to like, it feels like you missed the boat on YouTube now.
Yeah.
To be a content creator. Like,
I don't necessarily think that's true, but
really? Name like a guy who got big in the past year on YouTube.
There's plenty of gun guys who did.
Gun guys? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
In that sphere, I guess.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like, I don't know.
I think strictly on YouTube.
So
I think YouTube has their algorithm doesn't really push like new people or new videos. Like
I think it's more difficult. I agree, right? Obviously. We've been trying.
Yeah.
It's difficult, right? I don't think that we're ever going to see these huge channels that are going to be PewDiePie. We're never going to see PewDiePie.
2010
No, we're never going to see where they're ubiquitous through youth culture.
Yeah.
I don't think that we're going to see that. That's going to be like TikTok stars, right?
Right, yeah.
But I think that if within like certain spheres where people are interested in one topic, we're going to see someone who gets 1 million subscribers.
Okay.
700,000 subscribers, which is substantial, right? In my opinion. Like we're not going to see like 23 million subscribers out of nowhere anymore, right? It's going to be 1 million subscribers and you're going to be able to make a good living off of it, I think, but you're not going to have this PewDiePie. I mean, well, Mr. Beast did it reasonably recently, and he's at what, 200 million subscribers or some crap like that?
Some insane amount.
So, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll
Algorithms.
see. We'll see.
See you next week.
See. Bye.
7 million subscribers. Oh, no.
Can you imagine? That'd be crazy.
Like, okay, something's wrong with the algorithm.
All right, Trevor. Last week,
all right,
I gave a 1 thumbs up to Mickey 17. I said it was a movie that you should, if it's on Netflix, you should watch.
Yeah.
I said, if you're going to the theaters and you have nothing else to watch, it's not a bad choice. Sure. That was my take on the movie. I thought Robert Pattinson was great. Thought Mark Ruffalo did a halfway decent job. And overall, a decent movie, in my opinion.
Okay.
That was my recommendation, right?
All right.
You subsequently have gone and watched it.
I did. I think that same day, yeah.
Yeah, it was. One week ago. You've had 1 week to ruminate on on the movie. What are your thoughts on Mickey 17?
All right, Steven, get your pitchforks ready. Negative content is good for clicks. We're going to fight. I think this movie was trash. I think this movie, stay home. Not even worth it.
Really? Okay.
It was bad.
Lay it out for me.
So, the positives. Robert Pattinson was phenomenal, right?
Yeah, okay. We can agree 100% on that.
100% carried the movie, in my opinion.
Yes. I'll agree with that statement.
On his back. He's tired, but that's why they had 2 of them, 2 Robert Pattinsons to help share the load. All of his scenes were just great. Excellent. Especially a couple of the different times he was the only character and they're talking back and forth. Really well done. You kind of get past the like goofy voice at first, or you're like, is that Robert Pattinson? It's funny. Well done there. Then the rest of the movie, I'm trying to like collect my thoughts and present them in a articulate manner. It was like a sci-fi movie, kind of, but the whole concept was kind of just like, it's kind of been done before, of like, oh, we're invaders on another planet. Here's the natural life. I don't know what that is. If that's like Pocahontas or whatever, like that storyline. You're like, okay, like So it's not really anything new
Avatar.
explored there. Avatar, right?
With Pandora, like
oh, we don't belong here, but we must try to coexist. So that's fine. That was okay. The sci-fi aspects I thought were neat. And I like seeing that in a sci-fi movie, but I feel like they didn't really explore anything too much.
no, they didn't. And
Yeah.
I will say that I was disappointed in that.
Yeah,
I thought their world building was reasonably okay for
Yeah.
like a movie.
sure.
It's based on a book,
right.
and so I thought that like the way they did it was fine, right?
fine,
but
yeah.
that, like
The other like sci-fi aspect of like, oh, he's a clone and he, every time he dies, he comes back to life. Again, they sprinkled that sci-fi topic. They're like, oh yes, cloning ethics, and then that was it. It was just sprinkles. I'm like, okay, that would have been cooler to like dive.
Really? You thought it was only sprinkles on that aspect?
Yeah, the only thing we got for no reason was just that like, oh, everyone treated him like everyone was dicks to him. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, you're expendable.
Really? I thought it was good because I thought they treated it well for a shorter, like obviously
After the fourth time somebody went, so how does it feel to die? You're like,
well, no, so that part I agree with, right? That like everyone was dicks to him, but like the ethical aspect of it, like they had that montage of like the court hearings almost, or like, the trials.
some of the flashbacks to,
and I thought that was a pretty decent.
it was fine, and then but their end goal was just like, all right, I guess we'll go to space. All right. Okay, there's no ethics in space, and then I don't know, why don't they try to like clone more people? Or I thought that could have been more explored for the sci-fi elements, but not wrapping it up probably, but the thing that I thought was the worst, they just wasted too much time on like pointless stuff. There were several scenes that went on way too long. Like, and I was sitting there and I was like, okay, this scene is getting a little like either just a little cringe or just awkward or like kind of pointless of like, okay, I get it. Like, let's move the plot forward here. Like they've got the weird dinner scene where they're like, making fun of like conservative Christians for a bit with a prayer. You're like, okay, that's fine. That's a fine joke. I can accept a joke. And then they're like, oh, it's still going. Okay. All right. This is a little cringe now.
Yeah, that's a fair. I didn't love that the second half, the middle third of that scene.
Yeah,
the first third and the last third were okay.
Any scene with like the megalomaniac's wife also went on too long because she didn't do anything. She was like, sauce. Her character was weird.
Yeah, I didn't get the sauce thing.
She wasn't in the book. I had to look that up. I was like, oh, okay, so she was a pointless character.
I didn't get the sauce.
That didn't make any sense. The weird borderline sexual assault scene went too long. That was uncomfortable for everyone. The girl is on drugs and she's trying to get the two Mickeys to have a threesome, and the one Mickey's not down for that.
Yeah,
at all. That scene went on for like 10 minutes, it felt like. So I just feel like some neat concepts. It was okay with the sci-fi. You just wasted too much time with all this other stuff. And then like at the end of it all, Mickey didn't really do anything. Like, it was kind of just like the alien Goombas and his love interest that kind of did everything, which like, I guess that's the kind of story he's just like endearing. That's fine.
I disagree with that.
Really?
Yeah, because Mickey 18 killed the main antagonist.
I mean, it exploded. You could have just had a Goomba strapped with a bomb or get the rocket launcher to work.
But the self-sacrifice.
I guess.
The dick one sacrificed himself.
I mean, he just really wanted to kill the megalomaniac.
Well, but
I just like Mickey 17, right? Didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Mickey 18 was so different that it wasn't him. They weren't the same.
Yeah.
So like, Mickey 17, he's just kind of dumb and endearing. Like,
yeah, that's true. He was.
Yeah. His girl, the love interest, she kind of did everything that needed to be solved. And then Mickey 18 at the very end killed the bad guy. So
yeah, I think though, like,
I guess I like my protagonist to be a protagonist.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I guess my I don't know if it's a rebuttal, but my thought,
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
it's not really a rebuttal. I'm not trying to refute what you're saying,
Mhm.
right? But like my thought is like for this movie specifically,
Yeah.
generally I agree like the protagonist should be the protagonist,
Yeah.
right? But I think in this movie he was more of the connect. I'm sure you've read books where there's multiple quote unquote main characters.
Sure.
There's one main character, but then there's other main characters.
Yeah.
Right? Like Harry Potter, right?
Mhm.
Like
Several main characters.
there's several characters. Dumbledore would be a main character.
Yeah.
Right?
Probably, yeah.
Like, and throughout those books, you get glimpses of where it's not through Harry Potter's point of view, it's through Dumbledore's point of view. And Harry Potter is nowhere near that conversation, right? He's on the other side of the world. Same with like Hermione and Ron and that type of thing, right?
Especially, the big three, for sure.
Yeah. I think, and I haven't read Mickey 17 as the book, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is true, but it felt like to me that the book was written from the point of view of multiple characters.
Okay.
And Mickey 17 in the movie was meant to be the uniting narrator of those points of view.
Okay.
And as a protagonist, he was just along for the ride, so to speak.
Sure.
But as the in-house narrator, right?
All right, yeah,
In-universe narrator.
That's a fair thought.
Because if you think about it, that's kind of what he was.
Yeah.
He was there for it, but like he had his inner monologue throughout the entire movie. He was narrating, right?
Yeah, a lot.
And you know, when he wasn't directly interacting with someone and speaking to them, there was this inner monologue that was going on.
Yeah.
And I think like, you know, I can't like, oh, here comes this douchebag who's going to ask me how it feels to die again because he's a dick or, you know, whatever, right? Yeah. And he would like think that.
Does have the inner dialogue. Yeah.
You know? So I don't know. And I think that is the way that he was the protagonist of the movie.
Okay.
Not in the actual, I'm going to do all of the actions.
And maybe that plays out better in a book.
Yeah.
With inner dialogue.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I see your point. I think that's a fine.
And so I don't think that it's a bad thing. I understand where you're coming from, right? Yeah. Like I completely agree that like most of the time you want like the hero is the hero for a reason, right? Like the titular hero, like the beekeeper is the beekeeper.
The movie is named after him.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Like the Harry Potter is the main character and the protagonist and gets all the stuff done,
right? And
he's the titular character.
I think we said last time like The Witcher, anything that has The Witcher in it, surprise, is good because you don't have The Witcher show without The Witcher or The Witcher games, whatever.
Yeah. So I understand where you're coming from, and like I said, it wasn't supposed to be like you are incorrect, sir.
This is the finest piece of media ever made.
No, and I don't agree with that at all, right? But I think it's like worth a watch.
I don't
really.
Yeah, I think you could stay home.
So even if it was on Netflix or whatever streaming service, would you?
No, it was too long. Trim it down, maybe, and it's like, that's a fine watch. Like, because maybe
just fast forward a couple bits.
Maybe like my last minor point that's like slightly less so. I actually did not like Mark Ruffalo. I thought he was a bad SNL skit impersonation of Donald Trump. That was so obvious. They weren't even trying to hide their political things about the movie, but
I mean that's 100% true.
Yeah,
like.
Okay, I don't know when the book was written, if this character is really based off of Donald Trump or like, it can be any political leader, but like,
no,
they gave his followers red hats. He did a Trump dance. He had this constant stupid pursed lips throughout the entire movie. And I'm like, like he's, again, a bad SNL skit. I'm like, come on, man. Like, so that was a little too much for me. I was like,
oh. So the book is actually Mickey 7.
Yeah, I heard that, yeah. Because they wanted to...
2022 science fiction novel.
That is really early for a book to movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Normally
I'd never even
wait a while before adapting into a movie because presumably they would have been filming in 2024, maybe 23, since this movie just came out in 2025.
Beginning of February.
Yeah, the book came out and the director's like, I want that. Making it into a movie.
I guess.
Huh.
But
it was again, if that doesn't bother you, that's fine. That's why that was maybe kind of a personal Trevor thing, but that was way too much. I'm like, You can play a evil megalomaniac capitalist dictator character in a movie without giving his followers red hats and going like this and like having a Russian named wife who again wasn't in the book, so I know they made that up for Trump.
Oh, that's super funny. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I'm like, that's a bit too on the nose with your satire.
It was very on the nose.
You got to be a little more, what's the word? I don't know, casual or like
inconspicuous.
Yes. And then you're like, oh, this is great satire. Like, it gets you thinking. This was just like, that's Donald Trump. You're like,
yeah, 100%. Even his hair was similar to like, in the,
which even Mark Ruffalo kind of has similar hair, but yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I thought movies have been dead at the start of this year. So like, yeah, I guess if you're at the movie theater, I can't name a better pick in theaters right now. But
I haven't been able to name has there been a better movie in the last 6 months?
I don't think Deadpool and Wolverine might have been right 6 months ago.
No, I thought it was like a year.
Sonic 3 actually.
Oh, I didn't see that.
December, I think. Yeah. In the last 3 months. Yeah. Yeah. So this year,
but so from I don't think I think there's a couple movies coming out this fall, this summer.
The Minecraft movie, Disney Snow White live action remake.
I heard that thing is already failing abysmally, and it hasn't even come out yet.
Cannot wait! Like, come on, guys.
Also, I saw this online. This is not on our topic list.
Also,
this is so funny. Someone was like, "Story of Snow White." The second hottest woman in the world wants to kill the first hottest woman in the world. Snow White live action remake. A gorgeously attractive, amazingly hot woman wants to kill one of the ugliest women on the planet for being too hot. Like, because it's Gal Gadot.
Yeah, Gal Gadot, right?
Who is like
the Wicked Witch.
Is the wicked evil witch who's like the one who wants to be the fairest of them all.
Yeah.
And she's like objectively super attractive. Like, whatever you think of, like,
her acting or her personal whatever.
It's like she's an attractive human being.
Objective again.
Like,
I don't. Nobody.
You can rate her above or below. Like, it's like, well, I prefer Scarlett Johansson. It's like, okay,
they're redheads.
They're both hot. Like, what are you talking about? Like, sure, they're And then you have Rachel Zegler.
Yes.
Who has like a landing strip in between her eyes. Like, I don't know what that.
She's like maybe subjectively, right? Like, I mean, I don't find her attractive, but she's not ugly, I guess.
Yeah, she's not ugly.
Sure, she's in Hollywood, obviously.
She's not like. But Gal Gadot versus.
I think there's no contest.
I mean, I don't know about you, but like,
there's something you just. I don't know. Casting is very big when it comes to movies.
It's very important.
It's huge.
It's very important. The Borderlands movie proved that.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Casting killed that movie before it even began. I mean, that's yikes.
Anyway, I thought that was a very, very funny.
That'll be a train wreck. We'll probably end up talking about that and not see that.
I kind of want to watch it just to see how big of a train wreck it is.
No, don't give them money. We gotta get the numbers as low as we can.
That's true.
Yeah.
I do want to bring up a really cool thing that I saw.
Okay.
And it's the second point here.
All right. I'm intrigued. Is this a concept?
No. Well, so not a me concept.
Okay. This is a real thing, though.
I have thought about this for a long time. In fact, if you look through my quote unquote business idea notes, this is an idea that I have, except for a live action TV show.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. So I was on TikTok, as I want to do occasionally, and I came across this TikTok of this group, and they were promoting a anime that they had produced, and it was the Bible anime. And they're like, if you're a Christian and you like anime, this is for you, basically. And I was like, all right, fair enough. So I went.
Christian weebs unite.
So I went and looked, and they have like a YouTube channel that has 4 videos. It's the story of Job so far.
Nice.
That's the one that they did first. And let me just say, I hope that these guys, this group of people making this anime, really get some solid studio money behind them.
Okay.
To make a legit anime.
Yeah.
The one that they did,
It's like concepts, right? Of
it's mostly, there's not like any, the characters don't move around. It's all basically AI art that they've like.
Okay.
What it looked like to me is that they drew a picture of anime, like an anime picture,
AI animated,
and then an AI animated it. They said, here's my character, make him do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah,
right?
some of that doesn't look too bad.
This didn't look horrible.
It's quick in a pinch. Like,
but the way that they were portraying Job and like the things that he went through, I was like, I watched the whole thing.
Huh.
It was 4 episodes.
Yeah.
And they were like short. I think they were 10 minutes apiece.
Okay.
Right. But like they went through the story of Job and it was like cool.
Nice.
Like you could like, I'm not, it was not an amazing anime. Right. But like for 3 guys in their basement.
Right.
For 40 minutes of, or like 38 minutes of content or whatever, I was like, this is thick.
That's pretty good.
How do I say this? Like I said, not an amazing piece of media.
But if you give those guys some funding,
give those guys some funding and let them take one of the more complex stories, I think they do it amazingly.
Yeah.
Because they even like at the beginning they have like a credit roll and they're like introducing characters and it's like this character appeared in these verses.
Oh, nice.
So it's like, and the 4th servant, and it's like Job 1 verse 17.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. Job 4 verse 7. I don't know.
Uh-huh. That's pretty sick.
You give them like $2 million to produce like the story of Elijah or something like that.
Yeah, dude.
Some of these like lesser known biblical stories.
And it's a freaking like shonen anime with the fight scenes and everything.
And like, dude, Job was jacked. Like classic like over the top rippedness. He's like
just like Jim.
He's
Bro,
like he's got like a robe on, and he's got like the gray hair and stuff like that. He's got the robe on, and then there's the scripture where it's like, and Job rent his cloak or whatever, and they have that video of him renting, and he's got like a 12-pack and just like jacked out of his mind.
Yeah,
he's got like the clean like angled anime beard with like the long samurai hair, but it's all gray. It looks cool.
Sure, yeah.
Like it looks like a sick anime. But anyway, I want everyone to go watch it so that they get like enough oomph behind it to make it like a real thing. Because I seriously think it would be so cool to have an anime that was biblically accurate, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like a shonen anime with the fight scenes, the special effects, everything.
Well, can you imagine? It's like the story of like David and Goliath.
Yeah.
But it's just like the Philistines versus the Israelites. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden you have Goliath just like with his spear. And then you have this little like main character, David. Like the story of David would just be like the greatest anime ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
You could do like 12 seasons. Him being a little shepherd boy killing lions,
certainly,
to fighting Goliath, to becoming the king, to like
a lot of
Bathsheba.
wars.
Like you got all this other junk that you can do with it. Like
you can turn this into Game of Thrones. We have all the content right there. It's in the book,
and it's the best book.
It's right there. Why
the greatest book
ever written? That's what they tell me, folks.
Never read it, but.
10 out of 10 would recommend Bible-themed anime for all the Christian weeks.
I mean, it's honestly not a bad watch anyway.
No, I mean, we joke about it, but like, Bible does have some great stories. Like,
well, and
to have that done well.
And for what they are currently able to do, I think this is like
what they're trying to hit, that niche. Like,
I'm call to action, Trevor, giving you homework to watch this. Literally, you just like search the Bible anime.
Yeah.
It's like 4 episodes up.
It's cool.
It's the story of Job.
I'll go subscribe. Hope they make it big.
Yeah. When I saw them, they had like 40,000 subscribers. Nice. I subscribed. So
I want to see the next one. Next episode.
I think they finished the story of Job.
Oh, okay. So working on the next guys.
Yeah. I wonder who they're going to do next.
On to Samson.
Dude, like a mini-series Samson would be so cool.
Right?
Honestly, just like go through the Bible. Like,
exactly.
Beginning to end.
So many of those are like, would make good animes.
Oh, yeah. Like, you could do 18 seasons if you wanted to.
That's what I'm saying.
Anyway.
Turn it into Game of Thrones. Is this next one kind of short? Just like Sleep Token.
Our favorite band.
If you haven't heard of them, Sleep Token. Go listen. What are you doing still listening to us? Go listen to Sleep Token instead.
And become obsessed for the rest of your life. And not be able to listen to any other music except for like maybe a couple other random songs.
You know, a couple like classics are okay, but like Sleep Token revolutionizes your music listening experience. They're just that good.
They really are. Like there's like zero like
yeah. And if the first song you listen to, you're like, man, these guys are crazy. What are they talking about? I don't even like this song. Listen to the next one. You probably like the next one. All of their songs are so different, and it's
even like the album. It's one album has like 17 different genres of music.
Such a range.
Like then they have a new song in their fourth album.
Yes,
called Emergence. The song is absolute insanity.
Mm-hmm.
It goes from this sing-songy, light melody,
kind of, not poppy per se, but just
it's kind of into this like really like offbeat, like rhythmic, like not rap, but like
not rap, yeah, but
it's still singing, but it's like very quick and like rhythmic,
kind of jarring. Almost.
And then they go into this like heavy part.
The guitars come out,
yeah, and then all of a sudden at the end there's a saxophone and they're playing smooth jazz.
That's what I said at the end. Is like the song like lulls you. It's like the piano comes out, and nice soft saxophone. You're like,
and then you need to go clean your pants because you're all just creamed.
That's the best song ever.
I thought my text to you was pretty funny.
So the most accurate review I've ever heard. I'm not a music guy, but I can tell that the way they kind of blend their music is not jarring. It's not like bad.
No,
because I can see somebody, maybe some music snob, being like, you can't combine genres. But no, they do it and very well, and it's a long history of the band and their deals with record companies. It's because they never wanted to be labeled as like, you're a pop band, you must produce a pop album.
Yeah,
that's what artists get told by record companies. Like, you are a rock band, you must produce us 12 songs of a rock album.
Yeah. Sleep Token is just Sleep Token.
They're like, no. And so they lost a lot of record label deals and all this. That's why they're not as big as they should be. But they're growing.
I think they're massive. I think they're selling out arenas now.
I think they are.
Because,
now,
this new tour that they've announced, the one in LA, is at the Crypto.com Arena.
Oh, dang, okay.
Which is like...
the biggest one? Not the biggest one.
Well, I mean...
big one in LA.
I think it's where the Lakers play.
Yeah, okay.
I'm pretty sure it's where the Lakers play.
Dang.
But
their last one here, I think a year ago, was at a tiny theater.
Yeah, it was sold out so quickly.
So fast, and the tickets were so expensive.
They're doing one in Utah as well.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I might have to double dip.
Go to the California one and the Utah one?
Yeah. The California one's last, but yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. They're not doing any in Arizona?
They're not that have been announced.
You sold out your last one in Arizona. Come on.
I know. And there's plenty of places here that would do like a huge Sleep Token concert.
Definitely.
Plenty of places.
They just phenomenal. They are their own band. They do their own music. They're so good.
Yeah. They're pretty great.
Yep, that's it.
And you will not ever listen to anything else once you listen to them.
No, you can't. I've even taken a brief Sleep Token break. Just I don't know, listen to podcasts or whatever on the way to and from work instead. Different random YouTubers and whatnot. But it's I turn on the radio if it's if it's a 5-minute drive, I don't want to start the podcast. 5-minute drive, I turn on the radio and I'm like, this is garbage.
Yeah.
What am I doing listening? I will take 20 seconds and turn on my Sleep Token.
I will say, Bad Omens as a band, their newest album.
Oh yeah.
Close second to Sleep Token's worst song.
Yeah, because they same with me, right? I think they just popped up on your Spotify or whatever. It's recommended, similar.
Yeah, similar to Sleep Token.
That's how I found them. Yeah.
I was like, oh,
and a new album, yeah.
Not a new album. The newest one.
Newest
that they
one.
have.
Okay.
I don't know.
I probably listened to it without
Death
realizing.
of Peace of Mind, I think, is the name.
That's it. Yeah.
The album. Or that's
the name of a song for sure. But
that is the name of the song. I think it's the titular song of the album. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know that much about them. But Sleep Token is just chef's kiss, perfect, 10 out of 10, no notes.
No notes. Best band ever.
Hands down.
Cool. Right on. Sleep Token. Emergence. Listen to it. Tell me, Steven, you've been grinding away sleepless nights playing this new video game. No, no.
That's not true.
You've been playing the Bazaar.
Yeah.
It went free to play last week, and I talked about it.
Yeah,
At
it's
least a little bit. Tell me your new player experience.
I don't know. Is there any? Hello.
Pitchforks, applause, thumbs up.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know. Like, I really love the style of the game.
Yeah.
I think the game is a really cool game. I also think that it is so stinking difficult.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I've gotten 1 7 win.
Okay. Yeah.
I've gotten 2 or 3 4 wins.
4 wins, which is your reward tiers.
Yeah. And then I've failed about 1,000 other times, it feels like.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, if I just need to, like, grind ranked instead so that I'm, like, put with people more. I don't know.
I don't think there's skill-based matchmaking, actually.
Oh.
Yeah. Because it is all randomized.
Yeah. All I know is that every time I've gotten, like, a couple builds where I'm like, this is good. This is good. This is cool. Great. And then there's been a bunch of other times where I'm like, I have like 2 things in my item bar right now, and this guy just like one-shot me with 17 different poison items.
Like how and
what the balls?
it's like and
then
nothing is working.
I do think that poison is way overtuned.
That's fair, actually. Yeah.
Like it goes around shield.
Yeah.
And like
and it doesn't go away.
Yeah. Just like, oh, it's just like a permanent tick counter.
Constant poison.
That like, okay, so like, yeah, if I like am able to one-shot you at second 2, then yeah, maybe I win. But like after 10 seconds, I'm just dead.
Yeah.
Like no matter what.
Yeah. Their way to counter poison
is health.
Is heal. Healing effects, but it's like each instance of a healing effect only removes 1 poison. So if you heal for 700 health 1 time, you get rid of 1 poison. So if you have 400 poison on you, it doesn't do that much.
I mean, I guess you are getting more health to counteract the...
Yeah, but poison ticks every second, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's neat to hear. That's kind of what I figured as well. Like, this game is hard to play for a new player. It's not...
and like...
You get a tutorial, and I think your first couple matches are against bots.
Yeah, and like I won the first couple matches,
but
right?
then they don't have a way for you to like go back to bots to practice, which they probably need.
Another thing is that like it feels the way things interact, and maybe I just haven't played enough to understand how different things interact. The wording on some of the cards, on some of the items, is not as efficient's not the right word.
Concise,
and I feel like some items that are small or medium items are the large items never feel worth it to me.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that are just kind of bad.
It's like there's a couple where it's like in one instance this is like halfway decent.
You're like, oh, that's not for my build, sure.
But like most of the time, the large items, I'm like, I'm not gonna waste like for me to
takes up space. That's the point of the game.
Let's take a poison item for example, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this item ticks every 7 seconds and it does 10 poison damage, right? It's like if it's a large item, that's 3 slots for small items, and I can get 3 poison items that tick for 3 each every 4 seconds.
Right. Yeah.
And so it's like,
then just the variance of like, well, you got to find those.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Like there's always that.
Right, you shouldn't like. If you're like, oh, I'm stuck with this crappy large item. Yeah. Sometimes you get
the medium items feel okay.
Yeah, I think all those.
I think one of the other problems is that like there's a couple of like physical damage builds, like the sniper rifle.
Yeah.
And the spear can be like oppressive.
Fuel.
But then every other one that I've seen is like super mid tier.
Yeah.
Where it's like you're not going to win that much with these.
Yeah, they like
especially against poison and fire damage.
Exactly, they work sometimes. There's like the crit variant one that usually has like the cutlass or whatever, stuff like that. But everything,
or the shark claws or whatever they're
everything.
called.
Oh yeah, the shark claws. Everything has a counter, which is something I do kind of like about the game.
Except for poison.
Except for poison, really. You just got to kill them faster, and then the poison ticking away at your life like a one shot. I don't know. And so it feels like, to compare like in a different, a card game or a strategy game or whatever, the game kind of feels unfun or broken when you're just dying to the same thing every single time.
Yeah.
Like in Magic the Gathering, if the meta is like this one deck that just is annoying, like, yeah, Magic at least has a sideboard, so maybe that's not the best comparison, but you're just like, all right, ban this stupid card. I'm tired of seeing this card every single game, and it just kicks my butt, and I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
At least in the Bazaar is like, oh wow, that was a really neat way. As I'm dying, I'm like, oh, that's a pretty cool thing. Okay,
Yeah, that's
I've
very
never
fair.
seen that before. Like, as I'm dying to the guns or whatever. Like,
yeah, and that's another thing that I haven't figured out well, how to build ammunition items.
oh yeah,
Because they seem very, very weak early game,
They
but
do.
then super powerful late game.
you need like,
There's like the reload cards that like
Yeah.
they all interact and like
and there's a couple skills that I think really
Yeah.
make it work. So, but they do generally feel like unbalanced until they're not, or
they feel very weak until they feel over.
bad until
It's like
until
if there's not like a good like yes, these feel nice. It's like
yeah.
these suck or these are really good, or
Right.
these suck or these are really good.
Because I've had some decent luck with the like, your weapons have bonus damage for each ammo you currently have on board. That skill is a blast.
Yeah.
So okay, I like hearing your opinion.
I think it's a good game. Like
Yeah.
overall, I would
It's an
recommend.
open beta,
Yeah, I would recommend it for everyone.
so they.
I mean, especially if you're into like card games
yeah,
and like deck building.
right. You kind of get a little bit of both. Like, it's not exactly cards, and it's not exactly deck building. It is kind of some neat combination.
Yeah, and it's a nice chill game, slow. It does crash my computer every once in a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just the visual effects when there's too much flying.
No, it's not even that.
Oh.
It's like the launcher
Oh.
crashes my game or crashes my computer.
Interesting. That's
Like
Probably
blue screen of death to me one time.
probably a bug they got to fix then, because that does not sound.
I don't know what happened, but like I like was booting it up, and then does it ask you to like make changes to your computer every time you open up the launcher?
Yeah, yeah,
Mine does that too, and I was like, this doesn't seem right.
yeah. It's just a Windows thing of how they're coded. But
They should change that because it frustrates me.
probably, yeah. Because you're like launching an installer every time, technically, because they have their own launcher, which is an installer. So Windows is like, do you want to install this? I'm sure a computer tech bro could explain that better than me.
Yeah. They should change it. Whatever they do, like I don't care what they do, but change it. I do also think that they should change the. It seems like some cards of certain sizes
Mhm.
have higher chance. I think they should equalize the chance
Oh, yeah.
of cards across the board.
Yeah.
Maybe they do.
Right.
However many I've played, I don't know, probably 30 games.
Okay. Yeah.
So I see the same cards every time. And then there's like one or two cards where I'm like, oh, I've never seen that
I've
before.
never seen this before. Yeah.
Or like, oh, I remember that from like one playthrough.
Yeah.
Like I saw that card once. And it's like, I feel like every card should be like an equal chance, you know?
Sure. Yeah.
And I understand that like,
There were some specifically they couldn't balance for like the lower rarities.
yes, and I understand like, but I think that personally, like you change that with the monetary value of the cards,
Yeah.
right? Because like, you know, and it would probably feel bad, to be honest, now that I'm thinking about it. It's like at the beginning, like the first round, it's like you have 10 or 15 gold or whatever you get,
Mhm.
right? Depending on which skill you choose.
Yeah.
It's like, I have 10 gold and I see the sniper rifle, which is 15. And it's like, that blows.
Right.
So like, I get that.
Sure.
But like at the same time, it'd be nice to even see the sniper rifle more than
Yeah,
like once every 10 games.
Some more variance. I got
You know?
Definitely, because in that type of game, like drafting or like a deck building game, yeah, you don't want to see the same thing all the time.
Yeah. I do think that the gumball system is really cool.
Oh yeah, I like that.
I like the gumballs.
Those are fun. Every time I see the gumballs, I'm like,
I choose them every time.
yeah. Well, I like because again, it's deck building or drafting, but you have the like your inventory as well, so it feels like you're playing an RPG. Almost.
Yeah,
You're like, I gotta manage my inventory,
like a little sideboard almost.
Yeah, you're actually using your sideboard to buff your main deck.
Well, and then the way that things are put out on your mat is super important as well.
I like that as a lot. Yeah, the
and like I've played matches where I'm like, oh, I screwed up so bad.
Yes, yeah.
And you're like, oh, freaking A, man. This need to be on the other side of this.
Well, like you can see they have the recap feature because it's just an auto battler, but you can, after the battle, win or lose, you can recap and you see, okay, how many times did this one activate? How much damage did this guy do? You're like, okay, so that should probably be over here. And like it doesn't tell you, but it gives you the tools to kind of let you figure out and make decisions, which I think is phenomenal. I honestly think it's a great game. It's got potential. Yeah,
I agree.
Cool. I'm looking forward to seeing more and more updates.
I agree. Should we move on to some Magic?
Yeah, we could talk about some Magic. We have Universes Beyond is 100% of our Magic content today.
Well, it's 100% of Magic's content, so
yes, basically. I forgot this came out just literally on like Monday or Sunday, I think, right after we filmed last week's episode. They had announced this a few months ago, but lo and behold, the SpongeBob Secret Lair is here.
Yes.
For all of you SpongeBob Magic the Gathering fans.
Yes.
You can now have Patrick Star.
I will say the counterspell art is fantastic.
The art is like funny. They literally just picked memes.
Yeah.
Just SpongeBob memes and put it on card art. Or put it on card design. It's pretty good. No notes.
I mean,
it's weird, but
I don't hate it because they did exactly what we were talking about last week.
Yeah.
Where it's just reskins.
It's just reskins, right? It's not functionally identical like Mr. Krabs, Money Pots, how many treasures you have is how strong he is. No, not a unique card.
It's like there's a reskin of a counterspell.
Yeah.
That is just counterspell.
Counter target spell.
Yeah.
They've got a couple other popular ones where like Daze is a popular blue card. And that's the lands look good. Knight's Whisper is not a like great card, but it's Squidward Awake at Night. Like, all right, that's funny. Some of the commanders, like the legendary creatures, I don't think any of these really needed reprints, but they're there. Squidward, SpongeBob, Patrick is literally like the worst reprint that nobody ever.
What is it?
It's this old card from Legends, I think, which was a really dumb old set where they just had a bunch of legendary creatures that didn't do anything. They're legendary though. So he's literally the name of the card is Barktooth Warbeard. I don't have the original art. I bet it looks cool. But he's just a 7 mana 6/5.
Oh,
legendary.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, it's fine. So it's Patrick Star, and their flavor text is just Patrick's quote. I don't get it.
That's pretty funny though.
Like, all right, it's pretty good.
It's a flavor win. Sure.
Yeah. If people want to spend money on this, go for it. You could probably just proxy these yourself. I mean, but it is funny.
But they wouldn't be standard legal at that point.
Exactly. They're not official legal cards.
Actually, some of these might not be standard legal if they're commander reprints.
Yeah. Only if the actual card is legal in standard.
Yeah. Counterspell obviously would be.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. A lot of these are. I think all of these are like commander legal. Not that anybody's. There's no sanctioned commander events anyway, so you don't need.
There might be now in the future.
Might be, yeah.
Not that they own commander.
I know Daze gets played in like Legacy, I think. So like if you want the Mr. Krabs on Daze, sure. It's the only one I think that gets played anywhere else. Maybe your food tokens. Do your tokens have to be legitimate? You can have a Krabby Patty food token.
Fair enough.
Sure, yeah. SpongeBob, why not?
I don't care that they did it. I think it's great.
Reskins.
I think the reskins work for video games.
Yeah.
They work for
Look at Fortnite.
Fortnite's might, which is dying, if not dead.
Yeah. Sad.
Did you see that Hi-Rez had like a gazillion layoffs?
A bunch of layoffs, yeah. Try to keep the company afloat.
Yeah. They just also had their lead game designer who's been there for like 2 decades.
Yikes.
I think.
Since the beginning.
I think he was like one of the, not 2 decades, but like since like 2010.
Since Global Agenda? That was like my favorite game that just died. Come on, Hi-Rez. Keep them alive. Global Agenda was like my favorite MMO back in the day. Because it was the first like sci-fi MMO. Back when everyone was playing World of Warcraft with elves and dwarves and dumb stuff, they were like, no.
And dumb stuff.
We're having a sci-fi MMO. That was what their advertisement back in the day was like, no elves. And it's like a futuristic like Spartan soldier, tech soldier, the sniper, and he like shoots an elf in the head.
That's hilarious.
Global Agenda. It was cool.
That's funny.
It was a fun game.
Yeah. Anyway. Back to Magic.
Reskins, they're fine.
I think reskins are a great way to do it.
Yeah, because you maybe there's some crossover of SpongeBob fans and Magic fans. You can try to get SpongeBob fans to play Magic or come into the hobby. So sure.
I think a lot of our age are fans of SpongeBob, or is nostalgic at least.
Yeah.
But the Final Fantasy set, on the other hand,
Final Fantasy set, standard legal, functionally identical or unique cards. Functionally unique.
I don't know if you saw the Tolarian Community College professor's video on this.
I did not watch the video. I saw the headline.
It was a very well done video.
Okay. I'll have to go back and watch it, yeah.
So we've had some comments on some of our videos where it's like, these guys are idiots, and like, why do you think blah blah blah?
They don't know anything.
Professor's like arguably the largest
Magic YouTuber.
Yeah,
I think
Magic content creator. If not the largest, definitely in the top 5.
I think so, yeah, definitely.
Probably in the top 3, if not the largest. I think he is the largest, though, in terms of subscribers.
Yeah, he hit over 1 million a while ago.
Yeah. Anyway, he's had a couple videos that, like, almost verbatim echoed what we had said, but in a more well-written way, because he's an English professor
and scripts his videos.
And we are 2 retards talking off the cuff.
And that's the point.
Yeah.
We're casual.
So, like,
if
me saying, I don't think that WotC is doing the right thing because they're ruining their IP. And the professor says, Wizards of the Coast is abandoning their IP in favor of other things. That's the same thing.
Just because he's more eloquent and, again, scripted it. Like
I put 2x4s together. You know that meme of Patrick with the nail in his head? That's me.
That's literally the picture they had.
I know. Call back there, you know?
I don't get it.
Literally,
Yep.
I helped run a concrete saw yesterday. Like, I don't have time, nor the desire, to script a video explaining my sentiments about Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah.
That's the point of this podcast.
Exactly.
Is to delve into that.
And for those new viewers, we hope you enjoy and come to us because we're not
scripted.
We're not scripted. Like you should imagine, like this is just a conversation between you and your friends, as this is just us friends.
Yeah,
just talking. Like so, sometimes we get animated, or we say things that aren't that eloquent,
or we say things that we might
are passionate about.
Well, and I've had this where it's like, I'll watch the video back or whatever. I'm like, I don't actually believe that 100%. I should rephrase that. I should have like said something different.
It's a
like
neat process to try to have a conversation, but neat process to explain your thought process out loud and try to understand your own opinions and viewpoints.
Yeah.
And part of coming to that is having to not defend it, but again, explain it in a semi-eloquent way so that you can understand.
I'm sure there's things that I've said on here that like, if I were to like be asked about it, it'd be like, do you believe this 100%? It's like, probably not. The general idea, probably.
Yeah. And one thing in doing a podcast, not saying we've hit it big or, we're the best podcasters or whatever, but I do kind of give more benefit of the doubt, I guess, or just like, a little more leeway to even like public figures when they say dumb things off the cuff. Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
If they're not scripted, like you stick a microphone or a camera in their face, you're like, haha, look, they said something embarrassing or whatever. Like,
and you never have, like,
yeah, like, and then they ask you, they pull it up, like, let's pull up the tapes from 4 years ago. Remember, insert X politician, you said this dumb thing, and you're like, yeah, I guess I was kind of wrong in that moment. Yeah, I don't really think that.
Yeah.
Or,
there is no excuse for like prepared speeches.
Yeah,
in my opinion, right?
I agree, definitely.
But so anyway, if you're mad at us, like, sorry, not really. Like, we're right.
Don't claim to be an expert, but
literally. So you should watch this video. It's very interesting.
Okay,
where it makes us seem really smart.
Oh, yes.
Everything he says, he's like, he goes. Basically, to summarize his video, it's Wizards is abandoning their IP.
Yeah.
The financial value in the short term is not worth it in the long term for them.
Yep.
They're not going to be able to bring in new players consistently, especially in any economic downturns. The price that they're charging is ridiculous and should be just absolutely insane. No one should ever pay that much for these cards.
You're not getting new players. You're losing old players.
So what have we said before? Wizards is abandoning their IP.
Yeah.
The crossover stuff is too much.
Too much.
The financial value that they're gaining now is not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Proxy cards because they're ripping you off. Like, this is what we've said.
Yeah.
For like 2 years now, almost.
If you want to play a game, just print out the game pieces and play the game. Like,
yeah. So it makes. I was watching and I was like, I'm super smart.
You're so validated right now.
So I would suggest everyone go watch it, especially if you think our opinion is correct. You'll think his opinion is correct. If you don't think our opinion is correct, go watch it anyway, and maybe you'll be swayed to be on the correct side.
He's a pretty good Magic content creator, so
I
don't agree with everything he says.
No.
I like a lot of what he says, and I like his videos.
He's very respectful throughout his entire thing, even though ours and his political opinions don't align.
No, yeah, not at all.
But the way he does stuff is fantastic.
I do find him pretty
fair.
Yeah, fair. I was gonna say like critical, like in a good way, like an English professor type way. He's critically analyzes things well.
Yep.
Used to watch him 7 years ago for his reviews on card sleeves, and I thought he was fair there and very critical. Like, so
I think this video he like I just explained, to reiterate it, is a scripted video, and it's much more well put together and concise than our thoughts have ever been.
Yeah, cool.
So I would suggest everyone to go watch it if you're interested in Magic the Gathering.
That was his last one about the prices.
The prices specifically, but he kind of hits a bunch of different points wrapped into that kind of topic. Anyway, I wanted to see what your take was on the prices of some of this Final Fantasy stuff.
I've seen the screen grabs and
$40 for a booster pack.
Yeah, that's what the Commander decks. I saw the screen grab.
$150 for the base ones.
Yeah, it was like 200, or no, it was 400. I think for the fancy ones. They're like all blinged out foil or something. I don't remember.
Per deck.
Yeah,
$400.
Yeah, 100
I
cards.
think it was or maybe it was 300 pieces. I think it was $1,200 for the 4-pack.
Okay, $1,200 for the 4-pack. That sounds about right. You don't even get a deal.
No.
And then like collector boosters are like,
I think
absurd.
the pack of 12 was $600.
Yeah, dude, it's a video game console. Like,
so in this video, you should definitely watch the video. He goes, "Oh yes, so for one pack of collector boosters, you can buy a Switch, Tears of the Kingdom, and like he goes like through all these different
controllers
games.
For your
he goes, you can buy all of that for 12 packs of 10 cards."
Ooh.
15 cards.
And then, like, what do you do with those cards? You have them. You put them in a sleeve. Like, you have to sell them.
Yeah.
I don't know. For the average person, unless you're selling them on eBay, which is, I don't think is the average Magic nerd, like, you have to go to your store and trade it in.
Player, I guess, if you have an account there.
Yeah, maybe. If like, and then even then, they take a cut off the top. But what I'm saying is, the average person is not even getting the full money. You got to make like double your money back, give or take, because you're getting. Yeah. Oh,
I'm gonna make a prediction here, Trevor.
All right, tell me. Magic is dead. 2026.
No.
Oh,
I don't think so. Okay. I think Magic will have a resurgence in 2026.
Oh, okay.
Because I think maybe 2027.
Okay.
I think the consumer will be burnt out.
We've had enough.
WotC will lose tons of revenue because of lack of inventory turnover.
Yeah.
the market for cards will come crashing to the ground. I should say, for the special cards,
Okay,
right? I think will come crashing to the ground for most of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think we will see a resurgence of normalcy
Okay. Yeah.
into the market again. 2027, beginning of 2027. I think 2 years from today.
Yeah.
I'm making that prediction now.
Stamp it. Mark Steven's words.
So yeah, anyway.
I like it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, their prices are ridiculous for this Final Fantasy set. It's absolutely a travesty that they think they can commit highway robbery and get away with it.
And it's like, as we said, unique cards. So if you want that card and you're playing in a competitive event, standard or whatever, like you have to buy that card.
Yep. It's
I like Final Fantasy, but man,
yeah, the price is crazy.
that's gonna get wild. Again, maybe they found a good niche, but they can't deal with all the fallout. So
I don't know.
The crossover.
I think
Final Fantasy and Magic.
I honestly think that with all of these new special arts and special card treatments and all this other junk, they're just it's gonna they're gonna burn bright for a long time, and then it's just gonna burn out really quick.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably another year before the end of the fuse happens.
Sure.
Where it just all of a sudden blows up in their face.
This is just like a hint of what's to come. I wouldn't be surprised if Tulare Community College points this out, but like Marvel is also coming. Like Spider-Man, just Spider-Man is later this year, meaning that probably is more Marvel coming. So this is just a little taste. Those are also going to be insane prices, I bet.
Yeah. Well, and Atlas coming to the end of this year.
Yep, that's right.
Which that one's even going to get me probably. I love Avatar: The Last Airbender.
It's going to be unique cards, so you're going to want them. Yeah.
Maybe I'll just get like a poster of them.
Right? It's like just
like take it, like grab a screenshot, and then you go print out like a 8x11 poster.
You could get like probably some good proxies made too if you really want the cards.
I don't care about the card unless the card is good, right? Like if the card is good, then sure. But like just I would honestly just get them if the art is good. Like that's cool. That's like I love Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I like Magic the Gathering a lot.
Well
so like
done art of like.
Just hang a couple of those up in my office above my desk, and it's kind of just like a cool crossover of two things that I like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not bad.
Anyway,
we got a few minutes left.
What do you want to? You want to do video games or Steam?
It's both video games. Tell me about Spectre Divide. Is this a short one? Did it die?
It can be a short.
Okay.
We've played it before. I recommended it as a game. I've played it on and off. I haven't really been into shooters that often, but when I was playing any FPS games, I was hopping on that instead of CS.
Yeah.
So
it was pretty fun. Again, I haven't been into shooters much lately, but
I thought it was a really great game. I thought the whole system was pretty good.
Had some good concepts.
Gunplay was great, in my opinion. Not amazing, but good, great. 8 out of 10 on gunplay, right?
Yeah,
I would say
the character balance felt fine. I thought
felt pretty great.
Nothing too overpowered.
Abilities felt fine. Abilities felt useful. Like it was good. Good game. Mountaintop Studios, who is the game studio behind Spectre Divide, had their release on console 2 weeks ago.
Ooh, okay.
And there was definitely a jump in player count.
Sure, all right.
It's a free-to-play game, right?
Yeah.
So,
anyone with a console.
Yeah, they're just doing the normal, battle pass skins, that type of thing.
Pretty common.
And I believe it was on Wednesday or Thursday of this past week, they announced that Mountaintop Studios is closing its doors, shuttering.
Really?
Yeah, it didn't release to the fanfare that it was expecting.
Yeah.
Or the
even after only like 2 weeks, the console, that was enough for them to be.
So they're shuttering. I believe they said they will be shutting down the servers in June.
Wow.
I want to say.
They got to let probably the end of this battle pass play out for legal reasons.
Well, and they're refunding everyone who's bought stuff.
Okay.
So,
wow, that's big. Yeah, that's surprising.
Yeah. So the studio's just going goodbye.
It's done. Yep.
It's there's a bunch of on Reddit.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of speculation about like the reasoning behind it, and like, is it because of investment dollars drying up, or is it because of literal lack of funding? And like the game is just not self-sustaining, like no growth path, whatever they are thinking, and it just is going goodbye, which is unfortunate because it's a good game.
Yeah, again, it had some neat concepts that I thought were fresh. Like,
yeah, and like, let's be honest, if freaking Rogue Company is still around,
yeah, battle passes and whatnot.
Like, I'm surprised that people are still playing that.
Me too. Yeah, honestly,
I think Spectre Divide is the best first-person shooter that's come out for.
Yeah.
I think it's better than Valorant. I think it's probably better than CS2 in CS2's current iteration.
Right. In my head, I was still going to call it CSGO. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I forgot it was CS2. Yeah.
I've just started calling it Counter-Strike again.
Just Counter-Strike, yeah.
Counter-Strike
1.6.
Yeah.
Again, it's not... This was something fresh, so you kind of wanted, I don't know, some competition, or like, hey, let's reinvigorate the genre or something, but like...
Yeah, I think that they...
I don't know, CS2 just has its niche, I guess, and...
Yeah, but Valorant has broken people away from Counter-Strike.
Because they came out after, like, Overwatch was big and kind of started this hero shooter era, hero shooter clones, and Valorant, again, I think kind of reinvigorated the genre of, like, let's take hero shooter plus competitive first-person shooter and mash them together.
Yeah.
That seemed to do pretty well. I mean, they're still working. They're still alive.
And thriving.
Yeah.
Huge competitive scene.
Even Spectre Divide kind of maybe did some of that. You could tell that would have taken some inspiration, but yeah, no, just died out.
Yeah, Spectre Divide was nice because they were more on the Counter-Strike side of the scale compared to a hero shooter.
Definitely, yeah.
Like, you still chose like your equipment loadout, but like it wasn't like anything. You didn't have like ice walls and
you had
crap like that.
Everyone had like one minor ability and like a slightly different grenade.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you have a fire grenade and I have a flashbang and I have a sensor grenade or I have a mine.
But everyone still had the same weapons.
Yeah.
I did enjoy Rogue Company, but that one did have like a free-to-play versus pay-to-win aspect sometimes because the pay-to-win characters had access to different weapons.
Yeah, and good weapons.
Okay, so the girl who can activate fire on her weapons would be fine if we all had the same weapons, but she gets this like SMG that fires 1 billion bullets per second. Like,
yeah, I remember her. And they all do like +1 extra damage per bullet because of the fire or whatever.
And then it lights you on fire, so after she stops shooting, you're still taking damage.
And then you die after she's dead.
If this was Counter-Strike and it was like, okay, a pistol round, and we all just have the same crappy pistol, your ability puts fire on it, whatever. Sure. My ability probably does something else useful.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah, sad to see a game company that was good go the way of the dodo.
I guess,
we can celebrate game companies that produce crap that go away, but game companies that produce... We probably shouldn't celebrate game companies that go away in general, because more game companies is better for the environment overall, you know?
For the consumer.
Yeah.
If they're producing content, yeah. But it's sad, yeah. At the end of the day, whatever the reason was, funding wasn't there. So
yeah,
sad.
So, anyway, you got a magic card of the week for us, Trevor?
I do. This is a funny one. I feel like, well, I don't know. Not that I'm playing a whole lot of Magic lately, but Pauper is what I'm into. So it feels like every time I'm finding Pauper cards. But
sure,
it's a weird one. From credit to a Pauper YouTuber who showed me this one this week, because I think he had some goofy clickbaity title that was like "Sexy Panthers." I was like, "What? Gotta click on that."
Of course, you have to click on that.
I mean, obviously, yeah. Dude, just look at this art.
That's
This is a real Magic the Gathering card.
I would classify that as a sexy panther.
All right. Again, objectively, that's not my opinion. That is, if you gave AI a prompt, sexy panther.
That's true.
That's what you get.
Should we type it in ChatGPT real quick?
The card is actually not a creature, it's not a panther. I don't know what the art has nothing to do with the card, but it's called.
Yeah, that's true. It doesn't.
It's called Song of Blood. It's a sorcery for 1 and a red, and it's you mill 4. So you put the top 4 cards of your library into the graveyard. For each creature card put into the graveyard this way, all creatures that attack this turn get +1, +0 until end of turn. So you can mill up to 4 cards. Mill 4 cards. If they're all creatures, you can get +4 power on all your guys for 2 mana. So the deck I saw for Pauper strategies is like a dredge deck anyway. When you want to be chucking stuff into the graveyard, so you spin that to make both parts a benefit.
Yeah.
The deck runs a lot of creatures, so you chuck a bunch of stuff in, you buff your whole team and swing in. Like for 2 mana, for a board-wide buff like that in Pauper, it's pretty decent.
Yeah.
Also, the art is cool, so, Sexy Panther. And with like a burning city behind her. There's like
a knife.
Yeah, she's like an assassin. There's like a blood moon rising.
Yeah. Very nice.
That's what I got for you. Song of Blood.
That'd be a fun deck to try and build.
Yeah.
Red and black, I assume, mostly.
I think the YouTube video, the challenge he was trying to do was like a mill deck or a dredge deck without black.
Oh, yeah.
It's like kind of his
red and blue then?
Or it was mono red? I don't remember. Red and blue, I think, just to get some better card draw, but
the mill, blue has a lot of mill.
Yeah.
Does red have dredge?
Not a whole lot.
Yeah.
No. So I had never seen that card before. I'll show that one off.
There's so many cards that are so cool.
Yeah.
That like
either the effects or the art or both.
Yeah.
It's just this vast history of Magic. It's cool.
They're ruining it with Final Fantasy and SpongeBob.
Are the Sexy Panthers? I need more. And we'll call it there. That's before I embarrass myself further.
This whole thing is an embarrassment, Trevor.
I hate this.
Alrighty.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of the 5G Podcast.
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to see more.
And we'll see you next time.
Thanks.